Let's take a look at some tracks that are a little bit more challenging to interpret. The tracks that we're looking at today are this one, and this one. There's a couple features we're going to focus on for distinguishing between coyote and bobcat tracks, and those are the presence or absence of claws, the arrangement of the toes, and the size and shape of the pad of their foot. In this first track, I'm seeing toes that are slightly asymmetrical. They're not perfectly the same on each side, but they're also not hugely asymmetrical. I'm seeing that toe on the right that's pushed out farther than the others, and perhaps one of those top two toes is a little bit more farther ahead of the others. I'm not seeing any impressions of claws from this animal, and for the size and shape of the pad, it's looking somewhat trapezoidal. I can almost look at the bottom and see those three lobes that we'd expect on a feline or bobcat track. It's not looking especially big. I don't think that I could fit three of those toes inside the pad, but this track isn't registering perfectly, so it's good to look at a second example. In this second track, still not seeing any claws. This one registered even a little bit more sloppy, so we only get 3 toes here instead of 4, which makes it difficult to see whether or not those toes are super symmetrical to each other. The pad on this one is actually looking bigger than the other one, and felines, bobcats, they have a much bigger pad on their foot compared to the canine family. Even though we're not seeing all 4 toes clearly in this track, the 2 toes at the top in front are pretty much in line. We don't see one of them farther ahead than the other. So 2 toes parallel to each other up top is more of a canine feature. The pad on this track though does look pretty large, and it does look trapezoidal in shape, which would lean towards bobcat. The coyote tracks, we'd expect to see more of a triangular shaped pad. The third track here is pretty messy. We don't really get any pads showing at all. Again, the toes look pretty symmetrical, which points toward coyote, but they're not showing any claws, which coyote tracks often show. We don't have anything on the pad, so we can't look at that, but something else we can look at here is what's referred to as the negative space. So instead of the indents of the toes and the pad themselves, look at all the mud that's pushed up around it. If that negative space shows an X shape, then you are looking at something more in the canine family. If it shows more of an H shape in the negative space, that's indicative of the cat family. Lock in your answers now. Do you think this is a coyote or a bobcat, and why? Feel free to rewind to take a second look at it. And so the answer is these are coyote tracks. They are not showing their claws. The pad is showing up pretty large and often in a trapezoidal shape, but the toes are pretty symmetrical, and the toes are really large compared to the size of the pad. In most of these tracks, we couldn't fit 3 full toes within that pad, which you can do with bobcat tracks. And if we look really closely, we could probably find some pretty thin claw marks in there to help us confirm that this is a coyote. So many features of a track can be variable depending on when it was made, the substrate, how old it is, whether it got rained on. So things like the presence or absence of claws, you don't want to hang your entire identification on that one feature. Check out these examples of bobcat tracks here and notice just how much more asymmetrical those toes are. Something else that points us toward coyote here is just the overall shape of the track. Canine tracks are almost always going to be more oval or longer in the direction of travel than they are round, and feline and bobcat tracks will often be wider than they are long, or just more circular rather than oval. Last but not least, we've got the bonus track today. Leave a comment if you know what is going on here. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you want more of a deep dive on bobcat and mountain lion tracks, check out these videos here.